Guys, I understand. Change is scary. Getting rid of the old things is scary. Not having those things that we've grown attached to, the things that we've had memories with, that shit could be uncomfortable. But let's be honest. Are you happy where you're at? Okay. Simple. If you answered yes, that's cool. Stay where you're at. If you answered no, it's up to you if you want to stay where you're at. If you answered yes, you're cool with where you're at, stay on the video. Still something for you to learn. But for y'all that answered no, this video is mostly for y'all. We're just talking about being afraid of change. The fear of change. Last video, I talked on fear and how it's one of those subjects that are not even subject. It's one of those ideas, one of those entities, I guess, that like to loom over us and just make us feel bad. It's like if you had a parent standing right over you, just oppressing you, like oppression, oppression, oppression. That's kind of what fear feels like. Fear is just over you. Just be afraid, don't do this, you're scared. And we don't want that. Life isn't fun that way. Like, how do you enjoy life if you're afraid to do shit? I know people like stable shit. I know we got fixed signs out here, but holding on to something for too long is not good. No matter how no matter how deep it goes, there's probably a deeper reason why you should let go. For me, I'm pretty big on impermanence, which is not holding on to the things in life, just enjoying it as they come and waving by as it goes. In my video about integrity, I likened life to a boat that we're just going down the stream. And do you want to hold on to certain things on the boat? Because some shit might make the boat shaky and you might end up capsizing your boat. So it's like there's certain things that you want to hold on to and there's certain things you might not want to. I understand the whole things are sentimental and there's memories, really, like that's important, but at the same time, hoarding is bad. It's very unhealthy. And you can also hoard in a emotional, a mental, and a spiritual sense, as in not being able to let go of baggage. You have all these memories in the past that you still hold on to because simply you're afraid to change. You're afraid to let go. You're so attached to that past version of who you were that you don't want to let the things go off the boat. And it's hard, especially if you strongly identify with that part of who you were. Like, let's say people that fell off in high school. For those that did fall off in high school, they associate and attach themselves with that thought of who they were. That I was the star player, that I was the man. And then they hold on to that. Out in the real world, like, you gotta be on a whole different level to be the man compared to being the man of a high school. Like, being the man of the world is different. That's a whole nother level. But that, like, just holding on to that thought of who I used to be, who I used to be, that's what keeps you stuck in that scenario. That's what mentally, emotionally, and spiritually you're stuck in the past. So, how are you going to move forward if you're stuck in the past. A lot of that is just like in that situation is literally it literally comes down to fear of change, just being afraid of, oh, I can't do it again. I couldn't do it, or I did it once, I don't think I could do it again. Or other reasons. But another reason we hold on to things is we get used to it. Things are comfortable. Especially when it's comfortable with the people around us. Which our comfort zone, it's important. It's important to enjoy the finer things of life, to know yourself and know what you enjoy. Because when it's time to relax, it's time to relax. But at the same time, when you get too in your comfort zone, when you get too relaxed and too content with where you're at, life starts to get stagnant and shit starts to get stale. And we don't like when shit's stale. We need everything consistently fresh. Now, the reason it could get bad is because we'll get too comfortable to where we'll try to control things because we're used to it being this way, or we'll be afraid that we might lose it because of past instances, past traumas, or shit might just go bad out of nowhere. Just like dumb, not even dumb. Some of the, like half the times the fears have a past reason to why people would be afraid. Like, people aren't just going to be afraid of nothing for nothing. There's always a reason why people are afraid of shit. Like, people would be afraid of me because they can't control me. And when people think they have power over me and try to like use their power to me in my face, and I just treat you like you're just another person. Who do you think you are? Like, the look on people's faces is the look of fear when people see they can't control me. So me personally, I know the look of fear on other people, and I know it could come from something that's non-physical. As in, I've never put my hands on someone, I've never been aggressive and tried to beat someone down, but I can impose fear into people's hearts. And it's simply because these people try to control me, but they can't. So, what is Nas saying? Hate me now? Niggas fear what they can't understand, hate what they can't conquer. And that's just fear, though. That really is fear. And a lot of this shit comes down to just letting go. Just letting go and dumping shit off your boat. For y'all that are into astrology, Tauruses, Scorpios, Leos, and Aquariuses, y'all niggas have these problems. Just being like holding on to shit. And it's serious. Like, that's a life lesson that people need to learn. Being able to let go, detach. Being able to, hey, this isn't my type of jazz, or this just isn't me. This shouldn't be on my boat. Let me toss it off. Like, a lot of people don't want to let go, so they'll hold on to unnecessary baggage that slows their boat down or just causes unnecessary things to be holding you back, pretty much. One reason a lot of people don't want to let go is because they're afraid of failure. Now, when I say a fear of failure, I mean they don't want to look wrong in other people's eyes, or they don't want to look wrong. Here we go. People, when they're afraid of failure, as in, let's say, you hold on to a relationship, because I've done this. let's say you hold on to a relationship and actually, never mind. Let's not say that. Okay. Okay, here's an example. Let's say, what the fuck? Yo, my light just changed like that. No way. Okay, here's an example. Let's say you have a creation and you tell everybody about it, and people see it being built, and they're just putting in their input. Well, nah, bro, I'm gonna use a relationship. Fuck that. Okay, here's an example. Now, let's say you're in a relationship and you get with someone, but they were golden covered shit. And it's like, damn, I thought I was gonna get someone who I wanted, but turns out they were a different person. Now, I don't want to be with you, but there's societal pressure because everybody sees I'm in a relationship. Personally, that's why I don't post on Instagram, because I don't like having people in my business. But it's just an example. Like, because the community will be judging someone on just anything. The relationship's the best example I could get. Because the community will put their beliefs onto you, it will cause you to have this little, like, oh shit, I know people are thinking of me this way, which will make you think of you that way. But when you have integrity, you're going to be strong within yourself, and you're just going to be like, no, fuck what people think. I'm me. I'm going to make the moves I make. And a lot of people are just afraid to change because of societal pressure, which I'm personally seen that it's bigger than I thought. Because me, I don't do peer pressure. I don't fall for peer pressure. If people think they peer pressure me, it's just like I do what I wanted in the end. It's just whether I gave a fuck enough to, like, I don't know. Peer pressure is stupid. Peer pressure is stupid, and people fall for it. People fall for it. And I understand. It's the whole, I want to cling to a community. I want to hold on to people that aren't right for me. Because if someone has to pressure you, then they're not for you. You shouldn't, like, yes, pressure is necessary. But if it's pressure in the wrong type of way, no. We only like that good pressure. But one thing we need to admit to ourselves is when we have a plan and we're so fixed on something, but it doesn't go our way, it's okay to back out of it. It's okay to, all right, this one wasn't for me. As in a businessman. If you have a business model and you put 3, 5, 7 years into it, and year 6, year 7, it's not going anywhere, and it's not prospected to go anywhere. Now, are you going to quit, or are you going to keep going forward? There are instances where people do on that 8th, 9th year, business booms, but realistically, not even realistically, because it's up to you. Whatever you choose is the realistic option. But there are different choices you can make, whether it's continue or stop, and put your efforts and focus on a different, more important subject. But yeah, overall, not letting go will have you holding on in a way that just, I would say it's about opportunity cost. And it's not even being an opportunist, like an op, but it's more or less like, okay, look. There's people that do shit just because they have the chance to fuck you over, and they will. And then there's people that see that the people I'm with, they're not for me, and I have a chance to move somewhere better. So I'm going to go ahead and move towards the love instead of moving towards the fake and phony shit. But a lot of people are afraid to do that because We're afraid of change. We've built so many attachments, so many memories with these certain things that if we just let go and move on with our lives, what does that make us? But if you don't know you, you're going to be attached to it, which will stop you from moving away. When you put, just as in a relationship, when you put all of yourself into someone else, that breakup is going to hurt even more because you put yourself into that person when it should have been two people either putting themselves into each other or mutually coming together to build something, a relationship. But you know, sometimes if a business fails, it could be revived. Sometimes the phoenix comes from the ashes. Most of the times they don't. Just saying, like, don't hold on to shit that will have your ship sink in the end. Even then, after we talk about letting go, it's not just letting go, it's also moving forward. There was an error while recording, so we're gonna cut a little further to where I'm talking about how we should just enjoy life as it comes to us. We live life and we enjoyed life in the very end. It's hard to stop and look back and reflect on something while you're doing it. It's easy to eat that food and be like, damn, that shit was good. But it's hard to look back at something as long as your lifespan and really reflect. But if you start doing that while you're alive, it changes the name of the game. Now, detachment, because we understand that our experiences are temporary. We eat the ice cream, it tastes good, then the senses go away. Then we forget what it was like. Then we want to go eat more ice cream because we remember how good it was. That's an attachment to the flavor. But the whole digesting, that whole processing of the senses, that was temporary. So gratitude shows us how to be grateful and appreciate those temporary things. We're not going to have the flavor of vanilla ice cream in our mouth, in our system for all of our lives. So we have to seriously appreciate that. We have to seriously appreciate the moments with our friends. We have to just genuinely enjoy every moment in our life. Be grateful for every second we have, every breath we breathe. Shit, the fact that we even get to see another day, like, people will go crazy because of breakups or robberies or money, but it's like, be grateful you even got to step outside. Be grateful you're not impaired. Be grateful that you have the shit you have, because in the end you could not have that shit. So detachment means, if you didn't have that shit, who would you be? Would you be okay if you had none of that shit? Hey, try to become that person to where if it was just you and a water bottle, you'd have a good journey through life. Because being attached to people, places, and things, it stops you from expanding and traveling this whole world. And could stop you from doing crazy things beyond your life's dreams, you know? But we need to get rid of this whole idea of good and bad, of success and failure. And we need to just enjoy the ride, enjoy life. We need to simply not put labels on things. And if we want to do something, go for it. But if something, bro, seriously, if we want to do something, go for it. Don't let it stop you. Don't be afraid of making your dreams reality. Now, Okay, now one thing is, I don't want y'all to be too detached from reality. Like, yes, enjoy your experiences, but also don't just be like, I'm doing this shit just for the experience. I don't give a fuck about the consequences, the long term results, because there are long term results. And this whole topic is about the long term results. Being afraid of change causes more long term results than it does in the short term. Not changing in the short term will make you feel better, it'll make you feel comfortable. But in the end, change will always happen. So, hey, drop a like, subscribe, and I'll see y'all later.